Know what that is.
I gotta move so I don't step
115.
over.
63 degrees.
63.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Oh,
Not
Nice,
bad.
nice.
Yeah, we've been under lockdown since 1 o'clock today.
Oh, okay.
But you're under
Yeah.
lockdown at 1 o'clock every day.
Right.
Not every day, no, just on weekends, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Excuse me.
Hello, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Is that Dr. Lincoln?
Is that Dr. Lincoln?
Oh, the mystery is just gonna like,
Yes, reveal yourself if it is.
If it is, I'm claiming that because I was just thinking about Sean yesterday.
you know what? I was too.
I was too.
Oh.
Hi, Michael.
Good morning.
Now, here's Reverend Bill with your God Call.
When we do a guided meditation, the meditation instructor tells us to take a deep breath and then let it go and focus on our breathing. And our curious mind wants to know, what's the big deal with the breathing? I was going to be doing that anyway. And that's the secret. If you're going to be doing it anyway, you can bring your energy, your attention, and some more love to whatever it is that you're up to. Take a deep breath in, and when you breathe out, settle into the love.
You've gotta give a little, take a little, and let your poor heart break a little. That's the glory of, that's the story of love. You gotta laugh a little, cry a little, until the clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. As long as there's the group of us, we've got the world and its charms. And when the world is through with us, we've got each other's arms. You've gotta win a little, lose a little, and sometimes have the blues a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. As long as there's the group of us, we've got the world and its charms. And if the world is through with us, we've got each other's arms. You've gotta give a little, take a little, and let your poor heart break a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. Yes, that's the story of, that's the glory of love.
Thank you so much, Avi. And good morning, New Thought Philadelphia. We are on the Zoom meeting again, which is just kind of what we're doing these days. And the etiquette is a little bit different. We're going to keep our microphones muted for the most part, so we don't have that cacophony that happens when people all talk at once on Zoom, except for now, because I'm going to invite you to repeat after me. So go ahead and unmute your microphones. Repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I
open myself to love.
I open myself to light.
I open myself to light.
I open myself to the awareness of good surrounding me.
I
open myself to
the awareness of good surrounding me.
I know love and light are right here, right now.
I know
Love and light are right now.
And so it is.
So it is.
And New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. Whatever path you're on, whatever brought you through our Zoom door today, wherever you're heading next, we have been expecting you. And welcome home. We believe there's one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us, and that we each use that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs. Or, as we like to say around here, our new life begins with a new thought. If you have any extra electronic devices around that you can silence so they won't distract you as we go within for the next hour or so, that'd probably be a great idea. I'm Reverend Bill Marcioni. Our music today is the amazing Avi Wisnia. And our practitioner for the celebration is Joe Catanzaro, RSCP. We begin our celebration the way we begin everything, with a practical prayer. And Joe will lead us in our prayer this morning.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to be here with all of you. Take a deep breath and settle in. Settle in and know that there's only love. There's only spirit. It is everything. It is that divine power and presence. It is the one mind, the source of all creation. Everything, us, all of us, share the same origin, the same love and intelligence and mind. We share the same origin, the same creator. This divine intelligence, this love, indwells us, flows through us. And as we each uniquely and individually express ourselves, we allow that love and that spirit to express through us. So that we're all one. It is all one. There's no separation. So our gathering today is another unique expression of each and every one of us working together, living together as that one power and presence. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for all the good that we each bring. I'm grateful for all the good that we share, that we create as we gather together to celebrate. With gratitude for all this, I claim this good for each one here. I know it's so. I accept it. And I release my word to the law from the beginning of time, and will always say yes, and so it is. So we do prayer because we believe it works. So if anybody has a prayer work story and you'd like to share that, we'd love to hear it. You can raise your hand on Zoom and let us know. But I can't see you do that. So somebody's going to have to look and tell me.
Who's waving with a prayer work story?
Well, I have one if nobody else does.
Jesus just raised his hand. I have one as well, but I'll save it for the talk.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jesus, unmute and let us know what's going on.
Well, my prayer work story is that when I see myself walking in alignment with spirit, I don't need to ask. And in reality, I don't need to pray in a way, because I'm walking and praying without ceasing constantly, and everything just flows in me, through me, as me, and everything is like perfect, because it's just like a car. When the car is going this way or that way, after 100 yards, you gotta get a wheel alignment. But when I see myself aligned with the spirit, it's after 100 yards. Before, I used to go this way or that way. But now, my traveling, my journey, it's a straight path to eternity. So, because I am walking in gratitude and joy, everything just comes. So, it's just, my life is a prayer. And I see everything coming to me with whatever it is, not calling it nothing good or bad, it just is what it is. And that's my prayer works.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thanks, Jesus. Anybody else?
Breen has one.
So some close people in my life had tested positive for COVID. So prayer went out for healing and wholeness and very mild symptoms. Everybody's feeling well, quarantining so they can go back to work. But all is well. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Breen. Yeah, and I have a completely superficial one. A friend of mine who finds herself homeschooling her 4 kids, she and her husband, had a plan that if it snowed, they would have to actually have a snow day so they could go play. And she really loves having snow for the holidays. So she said, yeah, pray for snow. So I kind of casually did. And of course, a way that would not completely inconvenience me. And I was staying home anyway. So there you have it.
We have time for one more?
Yeah.
All right. So Wednesday when it snowed, I was driving home from work in like the thick of it. My street is a little jug handle off of another street, and both sides were blocked. So there was no way I was going to get to park on my street or near my house. So eventually it opened up and I was able to get up what I call the back way. And at the other end of the street was this enormous truck that couldn't make the turn. And the only way out was to back down this little tiny street and not hit any of the cars. So at first I was like panic stricken. Oh my God, they're going to hit my car. And I said, wait a minute. I was out there watching. I wanted to watch. And I said, wait, don't do this. Don't worry, just pray. And I did. It was like this stop, drop, and pray that just, I was so strung out over the drive home and everything else. I didn't even think about it initially, but I did. I just did the prayer. They got down the street, no problems. It was beautiful. And they got home and I prayed that they got home safe. So all is well.
So it is. Perfect. Sandy has some announcements for us this morning.
Yes.
I do. This holly jolly, ho, ho, ho information can be found on our website at newthoughtphilly.org and in our weekly e-newsletter. Please sign up for it on the website. Our year-end fundraising campaign is underway. Through the end of the year, 10% of all contributions we receive will be donated to Philabundance to support food security in our region. Your tax-deductible gift will support New Thought Philadelphia and Philabundance. We gratefully accept donations via credit card or PayPal. Use the donate button on the website or mail a check to the office in Ardmore. We rejoice in the return of the light with a winter solstice celebration tomorrow at 5 p.m. with special musical guest Amy Steinberg. Presenters include Retta Morgan, Pankaj Sharma, Jean Sweet, Craig Johnson, and Carol Adams. We'll begin with a silent meditation at sunset, which is 4:39, and continue from 5 to 6:30 with music, story, and ceremony, candle lighting and meditation, intention, and prayer. Bring your own candle. You must register through the website to reserve a spot. Next Sunday is our last Sunday of the year, and we'll be doing the annual White Stone Ceremony. If you'd like to get a Jerusalem stone, contact Reverend Bill. Self-Mastery is an advanced class in practical spirituality. It runs 10 weeks beginning on Wednesday, January 6th. Anyone who's completed Beyond Limits can register online. Our New Thought Philadelphia Women's Circle is Tuesday this month. So it's this coming Tuesday. You can contact me. I'll put my name and phone number in the chat. It usually is on Thursday nights, but this month, because of Christmas Eve, we're having it on Tuesday. Reverend Bill leads a community check-in and meditation twice a day on Zoom. They're inspiring and fun and are less than 15 minutes. Everyone is welcome. Drop in to Connecting Community at our Zoom open house from 2 to 3 on Christmas Day. We're active on social media. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and join the Philly Spiritual Adventurers group on meetup.com. We're skipping our Power of 8 Intention Circle, which is usually on Mondays, because we have our solstice celebration tomorrow. But we will resume a week from tomorrow. The Unexpected Income Club generated over $16,000 for members as of November 30th. It continues through the end of the year. Thank you to productions and presenters who make our Zoom celebrations work. There's a short technical rehearsal on Saturday afternoon and a final check-in before the celebration on Sunday morning. To join the team, contact Carla Ann. Reverend Bill and the practitioners do practical prayer by appointment. A practical prayer session can also be a great gift for someone looking for transformation in their life. After the celebration, Joe will be available for a Miracle in a Minute prayer at no charge. And we'll leave the Zoom meeting open for people to talk among themselves after the celebration. The end.
Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate that so much. So when we're together in person, we have a gift, a welcome packet, and a special blessing for our first-time visitors. And we have an even nicer gift when people come back for the second time. So I know there are a couple of people here joining us for the first time today. If you'd be willing to wave your hand so that we can notice who you are, Angelo. And I'm not sure if there's anybody else. There are 2 Seans. I'm not sure who the Seans are, but the rest of us, what we're going to do is we're going to give you guys a blessing, welcome you in. So you just received, the rest of us are going to rub our hands together to generate some warmth so we can feel the love. You just received. Send that love out. You are the bright light of God's love. Thank you for shining your light and sharing your love with us today. And welcome. We'd love to keep in touch with you. There is an e-newsletter that you can sign up for on the website. There's also the meetup group where we're announcing a lot of our events. So please make sure to give us your contact information, and we will gently communicate with you at the level that you find appropriate. As Avi does our next song, we're going to do the virtual version of walking around the room and hugging each other, which is just to look through the gallery view and connect with the other people in the little squares, because even though the physical distance is great, we've got a connection through the internet and also through spirit. And let's just remind ourselves of that. Avi?
Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Another day goes by, still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know we won't let hatred grow, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart.
thank you. Thank you so much, Avi. And Carla Ann is going to lead us in the Flames of Faith this morning. Flames of Faith was created by Reverend Gene Sweet. And Gene will actually be joining us at the solstice celebration tomorrow night to hopefully not ad-lib her way through the Flames of Faith too much, but it promises to be wonderful. She's in Helena, Montana. Carla?
We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. And Jennifer has our reading today.
So today's reading is taken from A Daily Dose of Sanity by Alan Cohen. And it begins with a quote that's attributed to Adeline Cullen Ray. And she says, "Angels have no philosophy but love." When Jay Frankston grew up Jewish, he wished he could participate in the Christmas holiday. So when he became an adult and had his own family, he brought home a tree with all the trimmings. But that was not enough. Jay wanted to be Santa Claus. Jay went to the main post office in New York City and asked to see the letters that kids had written to Santa Claus, care of the North Pole. There he found thousands of letters from children wanting things. Some were selfish and demanded lots of toys. Others were more altruistic, asking for a blanket for their mom or gifts for their brothers and sisters. Jay was touched by the heartfelt requests and decided to fulfill them himself. Jay took home a number of the letters and purchased the items requested. Then he dressed up as Santa, and his wife drove him to the poorest section of the city. There he found the homes of the children whose letters he had chosen, and he personally delivered the gifts. You can imagine the astonishment of the children and their families when Santa showed up at their door and gave them what they had written to the North Pole to request. Jay chronicles his adventures in his heartwarming book, A Christmas Story. Every holiday season, I read it aloud with friends. Every time it brings me to tears. If you care to read it, you'll find it one of the most touching holiday accounts ever. The word angel means messenger. This holiday season, you can be an angel by bringing love to others. You don't have to find North Pole letters and deliver Santa's gifts, although that might be a lot of fun. You just have to be fully present with the people you are with and keep your heart open. You may find that the door you leave open to give love is the very one through which love arrives. So now we're left with two questions to think about. The first, how can you be an angel this holiday season? And the second, whom can you surprise with a gift of love? And the affirmation is, I seek to bless others, and in that blessing, I am blessed.
You've been so kind and generous. I don't know how you keep on giving. For your kindness, I'm in debt to you. For your selflessness, my admiration. For everything you've done, you know I'm bound to thank you for it. Na 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 You've been so kind and generous. I don't know how you keep on giving. For your kindness, I'm in debt to you. And I never could have come this far without you. So for everything you've done, you know I'm bound to thank you for it. Na 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 I want to thank you for the many gifts you gave with love and tenderness. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for the generosity, the love, the honesty that you gave me. I want to thank you, show my gratitude, my love, my respect for you. I want to thank you. Oh, I want to thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I want to thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I want to thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Na 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 na
Thank you so much, Avi. So, hey. The talk this morning is giving and getting. We are into gift season now, and some people I hear say, oh, I still have to buy for this, that, and the other. I have to buy, and I have more buying to do. And I understand what they're saying, that they have an intention for the way that they're going to be giving gifts to people, and that they've got a whole bunch on their to-do list. And that's wonderful. as long as we keep in mind the whole purpose of it, which is to connect more deeply with people rather than just to give them merchandise, make the fourth quarter fiscally successful. Some people are more comfortable giving than receiving. Other people are just delighted to get gifts. When I was a little kid, a lot of times we, writing down Christmas lists. This is what I'd like to get for Christmas, and looking for, what am I going to get? What am I going to get? What am I going to get? And, learn to give gifts to everybody else in the family. As time passed, I found that it was a lot of fun to give gifts, and not necessarily the ones that people were asking for. It was really fun to give a gift that somebody would really appreciate, especially if they didn't realize that it was something that they wanted. For quite a while, my family would make Christmas gifts for the rest of the family. And it seems like that's a frugal way of doing holidays. It wasn't particularly, because we wound up making some very fancy things that took an awful lot of time and had a fair amount of materials. There were hand decorated picture frames. And one year we made preserves, orange marmalade, strawberry preserves, lovely gift package for everybody. That's when we were living in Florida, and we schlepped all of it back up to Philadelphia and New Jersey to share it with family. And logistically, it was just an awful lot of work to do. And my aunt, who was pretty picky, along about April, after we had given those gifts, said, "Do you have any more of that orange marmalade? Because that's the best I've ever tasted." And what that told me is that we landed it. We absolutely landed it. So if you are aware of whether or not you're more comfortable giving than receiving, just show your hand, wave your hand here. Who's more comfortable giving gifts than receiving gifts? Okay, and who's finds it more gleeful to receive gifts than to give gifts? Anybody? Be honest. Yeah, I'd love to receive them, yeah. And if I were to ask most of you, because you realize that it's a spiritual trick question, you would of course say that you like both, because you know where you are and you know who's asking. So I'm not I'm not going to go there with you today. But what I will point out is that giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin. Or actually, not two sides of the same coin. They're actually two ends of the same pipe. In order for a gift to come out of the pipe, a gift needs to go into the pipe. Something good needs to go in. And what we're doing when we're giving gifts is we're priming the pipe. We're making sure that that pipeline is filled with gifts, with good, and that that flow is happening. Spiritual economics, Eric Butterworth talks about currency and the flow of good in our lives. When we teach prosperity classes, we talk about the notion of standing on the hose. If you go out into the garden and you want to water the garden and you turn on the spigot and you hold the thing and then no water comes out, it is possible you are standing on the hose. Or you have the hose kinked somehow and it's just not working the way that you want it to be working. So what we want to do is make sure that we are allowing that flow to happen. So for those of you who like getting gifts, the best thing you can do is give. And that's not necessarily giving a gift to the person who you want to have give you a gift back. It's about being in that consciousness of giving, that awareness of what is it that I have to share that somebody would find to be valuable, and then let that loose on the world. Because the truth of the matter is each of us has a unique combination of gifts, skills, talents, abilities, and resources that are ours to share, that are ours to use, that are ours to have. And the interesting paradox is that when you give something away, you make room for more of it. In our daily meditations, we've gotten into the habit of doing a couple of deep breaths. So we'll do that right now. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Let yourself fill completely. All the way to the top, a little bit more. And let it go. A deep, full, complete breath out. And as you breathe out, realize that it is the depth of your exhale that controls the capacity of your next inhale. Go ahead and breathe in one more time. And again, let it go. Keep breathing at your pace. It's not like the inhales are better than the exhales, are better than the inhales. They're both the same. That's the flow. If you were to take a deep breath in and then try and take another deep breath in, it wouldn't work. You can't take 2 or 3 or 4 in a row. You can't hoard your breath. You just can't do it. You have to take them in sequence. Nice orderly flow. And that's just a wonderful reminder of the process about being able to open ourselves to our good by breathing out, by giving whatever it is that we have, by releasing whatever has been ours. That gives us some capacity to receive something new and something wonderful. We've been running the Unexpected Income Club, and we start that every time we're doing of the Beyond Limits class, because it is such a wonderful reminder about the tithing principle. Now, tithing itself is a complete spiritual and financial practice where we basically give a portion. True tithe is 10% of whatever good we're receiving, and we put that towards the source of our spiritual nourishment. A lot of people find that to be intimidating before they've done it, before they've proven the prosperity principle to themselves. So for the Unexpected Income Club, what we do is we put training wheels on it. So the tithe is only going to be on unexpected income. And the way that we determine whether something is unexpected income is whether or not you were expecting it. So when anything shows up by surprise, there's a tithe on whatever that surprise happens to be. And the agreement is that the donations go to New Thought Philadelphia, and they're designated as unexpected income. So as of the end of November, we had received over $1,600 in unexpected income tithes, which is telling us that there's $16,000 of additional unexpected income in circulation for the club members. And the way to learn that the easy way is, since this is money we weren't expecting anyway, the club members get to keep 90% of God's unexpected money, and tithe the 10%. But it reminds us of that prosperity principle. It reminds us of the importance of being in the flow, because once we open up to the flow, we're able to receive more and give more and receive more and give more and receive more and give more. And if your goal is to tithe $100,000 in a given year, what you're claiming is make $1 million that year, because you get to keep 90% of it. I started my tithing practice. I had no idea that I would, how I'd be able to pay that. The money was a little bit scant, but did it anyway. And along the way, wound up getting exactly the job that I was looking for at that point, with a big pay increase that led to another job, which was even better, and another pay increase, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So by the time I got 4 or 5 years down the road, I think I was probably making 3 times as much as I'd been making to begin with. And the tithe went up. Somebody says, "Are you ever going to stop tithing?" And it's like, why would I do that? Why in the world would I do that? I've got something that's working perfectly. Why would I go back and stand on my own hose? It doesn't seem like it would make sense. One of my favorite prayers is the prayer of St. Francis. And there's a line in there that says, "For it is in giving that we receive. For it is in giving that we receive." And that's about being in the flow. The line after that is in pardoning that we are pardoned. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. If I'm not willing to forgive, then how can I ask to be forgiven? And the last line, it's in dying that we are born to the eternal life. And I translate that in my head. I translate all scripture just a little bit in my head to get to the spiritual truth behind it. Because I think that means in dying to the self, dying to the ego, that we're born to eternal life. Letting go of our attachment to how it ought to be lets us open up to a new way that it can be. So as we go into holiday season, what if it's about that? It's in giving that we receive. It's in pardoning that we're pardoned. It's in dying to the self that we're born to eternal life. That's a gift. That is quite a gift. And the prayer of St. Francis is pretty wonderful otherwise. It's got 3 little sections in it, and they're each one of them about a different aspect of our spiritual practice and spiritual truth. One of the things that we talk about a lot is pivoting. Because the core premise of our New Thought teaching is that there is only love. There is only God's divine light of love. And it shines as and through and in every part of creation. Everything is that divine love taking specific and particular form. And in situations where it's looking like a shadow, it's looking like darkness, it's not looking like love, it's not because it's not love. It's because we're not able to see the love because it's being blocked or obstructed by something. It's like there's a lantern and there's soot on the lens of the lantern, so we're not able to let that light shine through the lantern. The light is still there. The light is still there, it's just being blocked by something. In a case where I'm looking into the shadows, I can know that the light is over my shoulder. What I need to do is metaphysically turn around so I'm facing towards the light. And that's the first part of the prayer of St. Francis. This is the prayer that starts, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. And the pivots are, where there's hatred, let me sow love. Where there's injury, pardon. Where there's doubt, faith. Where there's despair, hope. Where there's darkness, light. Where there's sadness, joy. That's about pivoting. That's about experiencing a challenge and seeing the truth beyond it. We like to say we can look a fact in the face and know something better. And the second section of the prayer of St. Francis is about the reciprocal universe. That's the other part that I just disagree with. It says, the line is, O divine master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console. And I changed master to mastery, because divine master seems to me like it could be some superior God in the sky that I'm subservient to. And divine mastery is that innate ability that I have to be a master of my creation, to be the architect of my experience. O divine mastery, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. Getting into that, what it is that I want to experience is exactly that which I need to offer up myself. For it's in giving that we receive. It's in pardoning that we are pardoned. And it's in dying to the self that we're born to eternal life. The gift is always at hand. I don't mean it's something that you can go out and look for. These right here. The gift is always at hand. And it's the guidance as to whether we are going to embrace whatever it is, or we need to cup our hands to open to the flow of whatever it is. Because if you try and grab a fistful of water, it doesn't work. And there are other things that you really need to grab and pick up. And the guidance will tell you which one is which. It'll tell you what it is that you want to be doing in a particular moment, so that you can be the gift, so you can share the gift, so you can receive the gift and allow that divine flow to continue. There are gifts available in every moment, in every activity, and in every situation. There are so many distractions, things that make us forget that. We get angry, we get frustrated, we get wrapped up in stuff, and we lose focus. Might be light behind us, but we're not looking at it. We're diving down into the darkness and trying to explain exactly why the darkness is so dark. And then sometimes, oh my goodness, I've done this on more than one occasion, where I claim ownership of the darkness. Well, I have my darkness. I need to deal with my darkness. And just convince myself that the only way through it is to suffer through the darkness for a while until I can struggle my way through. And of course, we are welcome to do that. The universe always says yes. So if I make the claim that I'm going to be miserable for a while and then get better, the universe says yes and hands me the misery that I am asking for. Important to remember, it is the misery that I'm asking for. If I'm okay not having misery, universe is perfectly okay saying yes to that as well. It is done unto you as you believe. And your new life begins with a new thought. What we're talking about is our favorite topic, authority and accountability. The way that your life looks is not because you are to blame for what you've done or what you've thought. Your life is what it is because of what you believe. And for whatever reason you believe it, it doesn't matter. Some things we believe and we don't know why we believe them. We're not even aware of when we learned it. It's just one of those things that that's the way my family always did it, or that's the way everybody in my town does it, or that's just the way civilization works. And if we get that belief that we have to behave a certain way or our experiences are limited in a particular way, then those beliefs are going to be operative in our lives. And we're going to continue to experience that for as long as we believe it. Oh, by the way, those unhappy experiences, those things that are frustrating or challenging or difficult for us, there's a word for them. Gift. The universe is always saying yes. The universe is always saying yes to what we believe. So we have the ability to change our thoughts, to change our beliefs, to change that invitation that we're sending out. We are the authors of our experience. We have that authority. We're not to blame for the way that we've done it in the past, but we are responsible for it because we have the authority to change it. And whatever new intention we're setting, we are accountable for it. Again, not being blamed with an unhappy experience for thinking wrongly, but the ability to create an experience that we find delightful or to create an experience that we really think sucks. And then based on that feedback, well, that didn't go the way I wanted it to. And instead of settling into depression and self-loathing, we can just say, it's time to set a new intention, time to change something so that I can author another chapter that I find to be more preferable. And we are free to do that at any time. It is always, always, always a gift. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there's hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there's doubt, faith. Where there's despair, hope. Where there's darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine mastery, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it's in giving that we receive, and it's in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it's in dying to the self that we are born to eternal life. You deserve all that good. You are that bright light, and so it is. Thank you.
a gift to be free. 'Tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, it will be in the valley of love. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we will be not ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, it will be in the valley of love. Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, it will be in the valley of love.
Thank you, Avi. Joe's going to lead us in the meditation now. Joe, you're muted.
I feel like it's just in the meditation listening to Bill talk. But I want to use it as, because the message is important, I wanted to use it as a passage meditation. So it's a message that never grows old. So let's take a deep breath, get settled into our chairs, find a position where you feel supported and you're comfortable. And imagine yourself looking out at those that you love, family, friends, coworkers, whoever, whatever. You're surrounded by those people that you love. Get a good picture of that in your mind. And let's take a couple of three slow, deep breaths. As we think about, we're going to focus on that love and those feelings flowing back and forth. So let's take a deep breath in. Hold it at the top. And release. Feel the release of the tension as you take that exhale. And one more time, take a deep breath in and hold it at the top. Inhale. Hold. And release. Again, feel your shoulders relax. Feel that release of tension. One last time. Deep breath in. Hold it at the top and release. As you look out and think about all those people that you love and that love you back, imagine the upwelling of all of that love and all of that good. Just feel it lift you like you're in a boat and the tide is coming in and it just keeps lifting you and lifting you as it fills more and more. It's lifting everyone. Think about ebb or the reciprocal nature of that. I'm going to read some of the words to the prayer of St. Francis as we think about that. The divine mastery. Grant that I shall not so much seek to be consoled as to console. To be understood as to understand. To be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in dying to the self that we are born to eternal life. Imagine the flow of understanding, consolation, love, giving, that reciprocal flow between that imaginary sea of faces in front of you. And focus on that reciprocal flow of all of that good. Breathe it in and breathe it out.
There is one. one power and presence, one divine light that is God's love, the center and circumference of all of creation. Everything that exists everywhere is all that divine presence, that infinite energy, that limitless intelligence, that divine substance, shared in a different and particular way. As that infinite presence shapes itself as each of us, as our experiences, as everything in the world around us, the people, the places, the things, the plants, the animals, the movements, the moments, everything is that divine presence revealed in its own way. Knowing that's true everywhere, knowing that's true of everyone, I know that's true of each of us. We are each a bright light of God's infinite love, right here and right now, in everything we are and everything that we do. And with the awareness of this innate creative power that we have access to, I know that each of us is choosing and inviting an experience of love and harmony, of peace and prosperity, of health and vitality, of creativity, and of love. Whatever it is that we find to be uplifting for ourselves and for those around us, that is the invitation that we're making, letting anything that's not like it fall away, so that bright light of love can shine through and as and in us, and bring that new experience into our lives. This is the love that's unfolding for us right here and right now. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the wonderful ways that it's uplifting each of us individually, all of us together. And I'm grateful for the prayer work stories that are even now on the way, as this good is already unfolding. And so the feeling of gratitude for all of this good being experienced now and still on the way, I speak this word of intention and I release it to that same creative law that has created everything since the beginning of time. This new intention, this new invitation is set loose upon the creative law, and the law is already saying yes. And so I let it be. I know that this is so. And so it is. Amen. Take another deep breath in. Breathe out. Bring your awareness back to your body. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes. Shrug your shoulders. Stand up and do a happy dance. Pour another cup of coffee. Whatever it is that will bring you back into the awareness of the moment as Avi does another song for us.
This is a song by Chris Christopherson. The scene was a small roadside cafe. The waitress was sweeping the floor. 2 truck drivers drinking their coffee, and 2 oaky kids by the door. How much are them candies? They asked her. How much have you got? She replied. We've only a penny between us. Well, then it's 2 for a penny, she lied. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder, with the smell of the rain on the wind. Ain't it just like a human? Here comes that rainbow again. One truck driver called to the waitress after the kids went outside. Them candies ain't 2 for a penny, so what's it to you? She replied. In silence they finished their coffee and got up and nodded goodbye. She called, hey, you left too much money. So what's it to you, they replied. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder, the smell of the rain on the wind. Ain't it just like a human? Here comes that rainbow again. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder, the smell of the rain on the wind. Ain't it just like a human? Here comes that rainbow again. Ain't it just like a human? Here comes that rainbow again.
Thank you so much, Avi. So we have an opportunity to, as we're going through this experience and planting seeds, considering new ideas, to see what's germinating, see what's coming up for you. So if anybody has something you'd like to share, you can go ahead, raise your hand, and we'll make that happen. Jesus, then Breen.
Thank you, Rev. I want to thank everything started with the greeters, the Sandy, Jennifer, and Sarah that prepared that platform. It was really wonderful the way they greet you with that love and compassion and understanding. Your music was marvelous. Your talk and the words you spoke, Rev, brought healing to my heart. Not that I was ill, but it revealed that spiritual truth that I was walking, that I had that light bulb, 75 watt, and you took me to that 100 watt. Took me to a higher dimension in consciousness. And I like to give gifts, and I want to thank you for the gift you gave me today. It was a bright light that I could see through it. It's not like the one that Paul saw that threw him off his horse. He got blinded by the light. But and then when you talk about that San Francis, and I want to thank Joe for doing that meditation in San Francis, and every time you had done it, in those meditations from 8 to 6, I think you've done it twice, and every time it's like different and wonderful, and it's just wonderful the way you bring your teaching in a calm and direct and understanding way. Like when I speak, I tend to speak like in parables, but when you speak straight through, and your words are so wonderful and healing to my soul and to my life. Not only at this time, but all through the times I've been listening to you. And I believe, because you could see the change in yourself. I believe through your teaching and to your love and compassion, not that I was a worse person, but I became a better person in the superficial and the human way, and in the spiritual way. Not that it is growth, because we are there, but I could see that I transcended a little bit each day. So I appreciate that, and thank you.
Thank you, Jesus. Breen.
Well, I want to thank everybody. Avi, great music. I love that the Shaker hymn. I was like, wait a minute, I recognize that when you did the intro to it. I'm like, I hope he throws in some lyrics, and he did. And the Chris Christopherson, that brought me to tears. I have no idea why, but it did. And Joe, the meditation hooking in the prayer of St. Francis was beautiful. And Bill, I really enjoyed the talk. And I was struck by the sort of you get the giving and receiving, and the talk about tithing, and then the segue into the prayer of St. Francis. And I wanted to circle back and sort of double down on the idea of giving and receiving. And, I came to New Thought Philadelphia already with the tithing practice. I firmly believe in tithing. It's commitment. It's the first payment I make every 2 weeks. When I get paid, the first thing I do is tithe before I pay any bills. I know, and I've developed, and it's weird sometimes. I don't want people like, oh, don't talk about what you do, but I think it's important to talk about giving, because I make a commitment to give and tithe, and then I make charitable donations that are over and above my tithe, which is, I think, a particular thing to call out, because some people think, oh, I tithe because I donate here and I donate there, but the spiritual practice of tithing, you can read any prosperity book, and they talk about that. And my mentor in New Thought said that tithing was training wheels for prosperity, and I know that to be true. So thank you, Bill, for bringing that message. I don't think we talk about it enough in New Thought Philadelphia, but thank you, and this is just awesome service. So thanks.
Thank you, Breen. Avi, the last song was perfect, the part about the rainbows at the end. As you guys probably know, I'm a teacher on Insight Timer, which is the meditation app. And this morning, when I turned the app on, the practical prayer of mine that they had published overnight was the one on perfect weather. So having and it seems a little arrogant to be able to pray for perfect weather. But it absolutely works. I can't make it stop raining. I can just make it rain on somebody who wants to be rained on. It's not about control. It's about perfect fitting together. And there have been, I'll get into the story some other time. I'm grateful that you were singing about rainbows. Sandy?
New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions. The gift you share helps fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We're grateful for every way you share. We don't have a basket, but there is a donate button on the website to make a donation by credit card or PayPal. You can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on the screen, and we'll say it together. I live
in an abundant universe.
I am
one with the
infinite
source
source
of all good.
All good.
I am a center of conscious
prosperity.
I enjoy
the richness of life.
I bless my gift.
I
I
share
my gift,
gratitude,
and joy.
I know that as I give, I do receive, and so it is.
So it is.
So it is. Avi, one more.
Thank you, everyone. It is always such a pleasure to be with you. So thank you for having me and welcoming me into your community, and for enjoying the music and singing along when you can. I always like to leave you with a sing-along song, something that we can do together. So even if you're muted at home or wherever you are, I hope you will sing along with me. This has been a dark year for many of us, but even that darkness can be a gift, and hopefully you can see some sort of gift in that darkness. And the song that I'm going to sing talks about brighter days ahead, and that there will be brighter days ahead. It's a song called Pass Over, and again, I hope you'll sing with me. This dark cloud will soon pass over. This dark cloud will soon pass over. This dark cloud will pass, and there will be sun, sun, sun. disheartening thing. But instead of getting low, let's get together and sing. Let's sing. This dark cloud will soon pass over. This dark cloud will soon pass over. This dark cloud will pass, and there will be sun, sun, sun. Said this dark cloud will soon pass over. This dark cloud will soon pass over. This dark cloud will pass, and there will be sun, sun, sun. I see you're feeling blue. Life's not how you want it to be. So until the sun shines through, you can sing along with me. And this dark cloud will soon pass over. This dark cloud will soon pass over. This dark cloud will pass, and there will be sun, sun, sun. Said this dark cloud will soon pass over. This dark cloud will soon pass over. This dark cloud will pass, and there will be sun, sun, sun. Said this dark cloud will soon pass over. This dark cloud will soon pass over. This dark cloud will pass, and there will be sun, 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 sun.
Oh, thank you, Avi. And I'm imagining the sun passing over right now above the clouds. So let's unmute our microphones, join our virtual hands together. Go ahead, repeat after me. I am love.
I am love.
I am light.
I am light.
I let the love flow,
I
Let the love flow.
and I let my light shine.
and
I
I
let my light
The
shine.
light shine.
And I am a gift.
I am a
gift.
gift.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for being here. Reminder, register for the solstice if you're not already. The sign up is on the website. It's going to be a big deal tomorrow.
Yay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
I came
Thank
I
you.
came late this morning. Sorry about that. I wake up when the sun comes up, and the sun's coming up really late these days.
Go figure.
Starting tomorrow, I guess we're going to start having longer days anyway.
Yeah.
So my gift, as I've said many times before, my gift from the pandemic is that I was led to you. And I just was a big puddle of love and tears and everything today. Everybody really touched my heart. I've watched Sandy with her big grin on her face, and that makes me happy. Just she's constantly smiling. And everybody, I just love to see your faces. And I'm so incredibly grateful that I'm part of this community, even though I'm not close by. I'm just so glad that this was a great light that came out of the darkness of the pandemic. And thank you all. And one more thing, I didn't get to share a prayer thing this morning because I was too late, but I have a house next door to me that's been vacant for about 1.5 years. And it was owned by a strange little couple who came by every once in a while. And I kept just kind of visualizing something different. And on Wednesday, a new couple moved in, and they're absolutely fabulous, and I'm incredibly grateful. So the constant visualization of light coming from the house and a really nice couple, it all came out, and they're just fabulous, and I'm so happy to have new neighbors. So yay. But anyway, thank you all. I'm just so grateful to all of you for bringing light and love into my life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Wonderful.
Great service,